Time to be outrageous once again. We are back at cleveland.com with outrageous predictions every Thursday for the Ohio State football game on Saturday. Nathan Baird, Stephen Means, Doug Lesmerises. We'll start with Stephen. Stephen, what is your outrageous prediction for Ohio State Florida Atlantic at noon on Saturday?
So I think Justin Fields is going to have a solid throwing day of 220 yards, which is really good for Justin Fields. But to put that in perspective, Dwayne Haskins threw for 227 yards and 228 yards. Those are his two worst games of any game. He had at least 20 passing yards or more. So it's great for Justin Fields, but if you're going to put it in perspective from what you had last year, it's still, pretty average.
So what was the number again? How many passing yards?
One time against you and
No. How many Fields will have?
220.
So 220, and the outrageous part of it is that's going to be good for Justin Fields. But you might be outraged if you're still thinking about Dwayne Haskins, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because, listen, especially towards the end of the year, we saw Haskins throw for 400-plus yards a couple of times in a row. Like I said, 228 yards and 227 yards. Those are Dwayne Haskins' worst games in any time he ever threw 20 passes or more as a Buckeye. So that's a really good game for a dual-threat quarterback like Justin Fields. That would have been, oh my God, what is going on if it was Dwayne Haskins?
So it's 220 yards of passing, and it's good. Nathan Baird, what's yours?
I'm going to take Ohio State's defense to record, or Ohio State's defensive line, I should say, record 4 sacks, none by Chase Young, who is the stud on that defensive line, a future top of the first round NFL draft pick, because teams are going to double team him. A team like Florida Atlantic at least double team him. They've got no one who's going to be able to stop him one-on-one. That's going to open things up for the rest of that defensive line. So how does Ja'Shawn Cornell respond to this opportunity? Defensive ends, Tyreek Smith, Jonathan Cooper, it sounds like won't play, but the rest of that defensive line, how do they step up? Because there's going to be an opportunity there to shine when other teams are focusing so much on Chase Young.
I would just like to say, if Chase Young is watching this, I think you'll have a lot of sacks. Stephen, what do you think he'll do?
Chase, I am not condoning any of the things he said over there. We have a good relationship, I feel like, at this point. Don't take anything he says out on me.
Again, it's the new guy, Nathan Baird, who thinks you will be sackless in the opener.
Now, notice I didn't say by a failure of him that he would not get any sacks.
Stats are stats, man. That's all I'm saying.
The other team practices too. That's all I'm saying.
Nathan Baird. 200 rushing yards for J.K. Dobbins. It would be the 22nd 200-yard rushing game in Ohio State history. Even on Thursday, like when someone asked, what's Ryan Day looking forward to? He said, watching J.K. Dobbins run. I think J.K. Dobbins will rush for close to 2,000 yards this year. I think it starts Saturday with a 200-yard rushing game against Florida Atlantic. Stephen Means, Doug Lesmerises, Nathan Baird come back every Thursday all season for outrageous predictions. Game picks Friday at cleveland.com.